Sat Sri Akal. Welcome to Khas Mulakat on Sanjha TV. Khas Mulakat essentially means a very special meeting. And that's exactly what we have today. A very khas guest with us who's an entrepreneur, a publisher, a creator, an author, and more importantly, a mother. So we're going to have a conversation about her latest release, about a Canadian story, about a Canadian kid who also happens to be South Asian. So let's talk to Harpreet Bahia. Let's talk about her challenges, her ups, her downs, and the benefit that we as a community can take with this effort that she's put forward. Let's talk to Harpreet. Hi, Harpreet. How are you?
Hi, I am great. How are you doing?
Good, good. Thank you. So tell us about the beginnings and everything that led up to today.
Amazing. So born and raised in Toronto.
Right.
I started this publishing house. It's a boutique publishing house.
Okay.
What got me into it was becoming a mom. I have two little boys at home, and it was all about just being able to represent them on bookshelves at stores.
Right.
They are, of course, Sikh, and my boys have patkas, and I just wanted them to feel ordinary and seen on these shelves, just like every other kid.
That's beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was saying there's something very quietly important about this, which is that this is a Canadian story about Canadian kids who happen to be South Asian.
Yes.
And that disproportionate representation, you know, we've had our experiences growing up where, you know, we've had turtles as the closest representation. So this is great. So tell me about your first favorite, I guess, what is the first character you resonated with when you were growing up?
Oh, to be honest, Winnie the Pooh, but that's just so loving and wholesome.
Yeah.
As a kid, I loved Winnie the Pooh.
Right.
But overall, when I think about story and storytelling for young kids, I think of them being seen in these books. And it was so important to me for them to be feel ordinary in the sense of ordinary everyday experiences and not so much about just a religion and the faith itself.
That's so special.
Yeah.
That's and you've gone as far as even integrating touch and feel mechanisms within the book, right?
Yes.
So kids can not only like have a visual relationship with this character and series and book, but also understand the feelings and stuff.
You're right. So you know what? With my babies, when I was first started reading to them, which I started very early on, I love reading. And you know, before they can even read, and sometimes before they can even see, their eyes are barely open. And I just started reading. And as I grew with them, I realized what they needed and how they would sit and engage with books that were more engaging for them. Wow. So with touch and feel, I'm able to keep their attention span at the young ages that they are. They're 2 and 4.
Right.
And they can sit with a book for much longer than a book that is very wordy and lengthy and just pictures sometimes. So the textures alone and the motor skills of the sensory development is crucial, and I love it for all kids of that age to have.
Yeah. I have nieces and nephews, and we go crazy on sticker books and touch and feel books. So I'm a big fan of this book. Definitely took some for them.
I love that. Yeah. It's so funny. I call it an immersive experience for kids because like you can touch, feel, open, close. So this one's about an airplane ride. Right. And it was inspired by us traveling. Right. And so everything is about an x-ray machine or the luggage you can move, a window in the airplane, and it's a whole experience on its own for kids.
And that kind of leads me to my next thought is that it seems like there's more plans for Dea. He's got other adventures coming up, and maybe even other products through.
You're right.
Yeah.
I think it's endless, really, right? Where the series could go.
Right.
Dea is going on a hike next.
Yes.
And
Grouse?
Yes, let's go with Grouse, right? It is very West Coast, and I love that for him because we have so much family out here, and Dea's grandparents are here, and Dea and Kabir, so it's so nice to, you know, have the hike and the West Coast bit in there as well.
That's beautiful.
And once again, the textures of grass, trees, boots, rubber boots, and water bottles, and all of that. So it's fun.
That's so special. So I gotta ask, was the airplane story inspired by an actual like first moment for Dea going abroad?
Very much. It was inspired by us coming here from Toronto to BC over and over again and just watching everything through his eyes and seeing what he was nervous about, what Kabir, his older brother, was helping him through, and just being inspired by it. And that's essentially what this is. It was from that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That's awesome. So if we have, you know, annoying siblings, just read the book. Maybe, you know, it'll find some solace in that.
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
So That's great. And this book is coming out of a publishing house that you also are at the head of.
Yes, yeah. So I'm the founder of Touching Tales Publishing House.
Touching
We
Tales.
are a boutique.
Yeah.
And I say that because we're very small.
Okay.
We have one illustrator currently. I have a manufacturer in Asia, and I have marketing.
Cool.
And myself, I do the editing as well.
Yeah.
I do have an English degree as well. So I'm brushing up on that and beginning to take more courses just to, make sure I'm on it.
Yeah.
And I'm enjoying this so much. It's so fun to work with authors, get to go through the whole process with them and really break it down now. Because when you're working on your own book, it's very kind of go with the flow and you're figuring it out. But now that I'm working with others, I really wanted to implement a system and stages and processes and all of this tech related to it and whatnot. And it's been so fun.
That's really
It's been
neat.
so cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That seems like you're systemizing
Definitely
the approach so that
yes.
what you are sharing with the world is more accessible for anybody else that wants to share these stories with the world.
And I think because I was an author first, now being the founder of a publishing house, I can really put myself in their shoes.
Yeah.
And I know all of those pain points when I first wanted to publish.
Beautiful.
So it's nice to be able to sit with them and be like, I got you. I know this and I've been through it as well.
That's neat.
Yes.
That's so special because it's saving a lot of pain and agony of running into doors.
Yes, exactly. Because I've ran into them.
Yeah.
So I did.
Thank you for doing that for us. That's awesome. Yeah. That's really great. So I got to ask, do you find different authors have different processes for the outcomes that they achieve? Like, for example, yours?
Yeah, definitely. Yeah. What I love so much about writing in general and the beauty of a manuscript is there's so much feeling behind it. And every feeling is different. Every writer writes for a different reason and they're inspired by something else.
Right.
So for me, it was my boys.
Yeah.
My next author is all about financial literacy.
Cool.
And the reason she is she grew up in an area where, there was a lot of poverty.
Okay.
And she wants children to learn at a very young age how to save and about credit and debt and all of that. And she is writing it in such a fun style. It's like in a rap style. And it's called Lily's Ledger and Kindness Coins.
Lecture.
A ledger.
Ledger. Whoa,
yes. So
nice.
Accounting right there.
Yeah.
But it's teaching them in such a fun way.
Yeah.
And so her series is all about teaching kids about finance in a fun way. And
we don't learn enough about that in school.
You're right. We don't. You know what? Growing up, we really miss that in our curriculum in Ontario, at least. Yeah. So it's important.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. So next is that one thing I constantly think about is being a publishing house and now where technology's at and how is that being leveraged in that ecosystem of being a publishing house?
Right. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's interesting times. I think personally with AI and everything that's currently available, as a creative, you can kind of look at it as not the best thing, right? Because you really want that nuance and that feeling behind the work.
Right.
But when it comes to productivity and speeding things up, it's great.
Right.
I mean, you can always implement it in different ways into your systems.
Nice.
In terms of, let's say, for example, building the background of what my authors, the platform they use right now.
Okay.
Mine is Netfly, I believe, and I had AI help me build that.
Yeah.
So the tech behind my systems, I've gotten a lot of help from AI to figure out.
So let's talk about the stack of technology and how that makes a difference in the publishers and the author's world.
Oh, 100% accessibility. And I think that's amazing. So currently what we're doing is for other authors as well, we're creating worlds essentially for children and their parents to be able to, for example, Dea discovers, we're currently working on a digital style of a world where you can log on, see all the books that are available, get them from there as well directly, but also other things if you're interested in learning more about motor skills, touch and feel, and all of that as well, to have more access to it.
Right.
For our next author as well, we'll be doing, her own little world that you can access separately and whatnot.
Yeah. Neat.
Thank
That's
you.
very special.
Yeah.
I think the more you control that ecosystem, you can develop more relationships with your audience.
Right.
You mentioned even building up a small, generally sometimes landing pages have frequently asked questions, but essentially in this application, it would be like a forum of maybe parents talking about their experiences,
Yes.
maybe reading this book to their kids and
We would love
ideas
that.
of the next one or something
Yeah.
like that.
It's all about creating community.
Engagement.
Yes,
Yeah.
and I love that so much. But
Right.
that's also why we do this, I think, when it comes to writing children's books. It's about creating community and making kids feel seen. It's about helping parents along the way as well,
Right.
right?
Right.
Keeping kids busy and engaging positive ways.
Yeah.
So these worlds we're creating for children, I think, when it comes to technology, it's making it much easier to do. That's great.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Well, that's one thing about, how parents are interacting with this, how kids will be interacting with these books and whatnot. Now, I want to ask, how does marketing play a role? Like, what are the challenges of pushing a book out there? And what have you gone through in that sense?
It's so funny you ask me that. I come from a legal background and I'm not much of a sales person.
Right.
And it's been interesting for me to learn how to sell in general. I am a mother and I'm a nurturer. So biologically, I look for needs. What do people need? What do my kids need? Is how I start. What does my husband need? Another one. What's he need right now? So thinking about things like that, I am able to identify with children in this touch and feel book what children need out of it. And so when I approach parents or, in general, these meet and greets when I'm speaking to the community, I love telling them, hey, you guys need this because it's so good for A, B, C, D, E, F, and G. And that is my sales. I guess you call it sales still, but I'm identifying a need. And, I genuinely feel like I'm helping you out when I give you this book. I think it's so good for your family and your children. So that's how I approach it. I do have someone that our team is in our team, Maria, and she is wonderful at marketing. She is our marketing, and she's more about, making sure that people can come along for the journey. She's really big on that. Content.
Yeah.
Content is king, as
Right.
Yeah. So
building that relationship, nurturing it.
Exactly. And letting people join us for the journey.
Right.
Yeah. Because when you're more involved and invested in the story behind the journey, you want to be a part of it too.
Well, that approach speaks volumes, because the moment I read this book, even the title, I felt like, okay, I'm part of this now.
Yeah.
And I'm sure my nieces and nephews will feel the same.
I love that.
I'm very excited for bedtime reading for that.
I love that.
So that's very special, and we look forward to seeing it grow and seeing Touching Tales.
Touching Tales Publishing House, correct. Yeah.
And how many books are coming out of that production house right now?
So currently we're manufacturing Daya's First Hike, and it should be out in August. And you'll find it at select Indigo stores as well as our website and Amazon.
Okay.
And then I am doing the Lily's Ledger. So Kindness Coins will be out as well in the fall time.
Okay.
Right in time for Financial Literacy Month is what we're doing. And that's in November in Ontario. So
planned.
Yeah, it works out perfectly.
Yeah.
And then we're working on our other author, Naya's Coily World.
Okay.
Yeah, so that'll be really fun, and we'll see how that goes.
Well, we hope to have you back on for every release. That would be amazing. Yeah.
Thank you for having me.
No, thank you for being here, and thank you for talking about the role technology plays in this journey as well, and also the challenges and parting that information with the audience.
Thank you.
Thank you.
I appreciate you having me on here. Thank you.
Thank you. So this is the exact Khas story we wanted to bring to the table, of not only an entrepreneur, not only a mother, but also an author at the same time. This is a story about a Canadian kid who happens to be South Asian. And so it resonates with a lot of us here, because truly growing up, that's how we felt. However, we lacked the representation proportionately on the bookshelves to feel seen, and thus constantly in search for that identity. So this is a very, very special treat that our kids can have in the new generation. Feel free to share it with your nieces, your nephews, your kids, your brothers, your sisters, and overall the community. We'll have Harpreet on again with new books that they're releasing at Touching Tales Publishing House. And for now, this is Khas Mulakat on Sanjha TV and FYI Media. Sat Sri Akal. I think it'll work.